Are you prepared to update your radio station's website anytime, from anywhere? Well, today we'll talk about why it's essential to have a plan for updating your station website outside of the radio station.
You're listening to Better Radio Websites, the definitive podcast for radio professionals who want their websites to generate more traffic and substantial revenue. Get time-tested techniques, secret tricks, and valuable tools in online content, marketing, analytics, security, social media, and much more. Ready for your radio station to dominate digital in your market? Here we go.
Hi, it's Jim, and welcome to Better Radio Websites, the podcast that wants to help you get more visitors and the most revenue from your radio station website. Thank you so much for joining this week. If you haven't yet, be sure that you like and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get podcasts. And if you haven't checked out the video version of this, be sure to head on over to YouTube and like and subscribe there as well. Thank you so much for doing that. And be sure to share this out with your radio colleagues. There are a lot of other radio stations out there that can benefit from this great content. Well, this week we're talking about updating your website remotely outside of the radio station. We're not really talking about opening up a browser in like an iPad or something like that and pulling up your website admin and updating it that way. We're talking about doing something that's a little bit more quick, because one of the big missed opportunities that we see with radio stations is that they will post a lot of photos and news updates directly to their social media accounts. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that it's a lot easier to do that than opening up a website admin and, performing updates like that. And chances are your team probably does it, and radio stations who've done it. They're backstage at a concert. They upload 20 photos of them and the artist or whatever, and with guests and stuff like that, and they'll upload it to Facebook, and then that's it. And or maybe somebody will snap a photo of an accident or some some breaking news that's happening out in the community. But whenever they upload it to the website, it's an hour or two later, or maybe they've uploaded it to Facebook, but then made a post about it later on the website. And so you can tell that, they had to wait till they got back to the radio station to make that news story. The missed opportunity is, in both of these situations, it's much better to upload a teaser to Facebook or Twitter or your other favorite social media platform, and then point them back to the website that has all of the photos or all of the details on the news story, things like that. It's a missed opportunity because when people consume this content directly on Facebook or on Twitter or whatever, the radio station really doesn't benefit from that. Those 20 photos could have meant another 20 impressions on your website, which would have increased your SEO, would have given more impressions to the banner ads that are on your website, that sort of thing. So that's what we're really talking about today. And so, again, being on social media is great. It's great for engagement, but the radio station doesn't really benefit anything from that. And besides, as we'll talk about today, not everybody on your social media platforms gets to see what you're posting, even though they're following you. There's an algorithm back there that only lets key people who are super, super active, they're the only ones that are seeing that content. Whereas if you post it on your website, you can promote it better on air. You can promote that content across all your other social media platforms, and you're just driving people back to, it's almost like saying, hey, we uploaded some great photos of our radio event at the TV station website, so you're driving people somewhere else that the radio station is not really benefiting from. So that's what we're talking about today. So the importance of updating your website remotely. I mean, every second counts when a major event happens, whether it's a big traffic incident, severe weather, breaking local news. Your listeners want immediate updates, and being able to provide that information as quickly as possible can make a huge difference to the people who really get their information from your radio station. And it's going to mean a lot to them if they see it in almost real time on your radio station website because they're like, wow, they must have a team of people that is scouring the city and keeping us up to date. And that gives you more credibility. And it's going to make them just a bigger fan of your radio station, knowing that that is the place where they get that information. Uh, if you can update your website remotely, you can immediately post information on a news story, detail about what's happening, images, and this immediacy ensures that your audience gets that timely information directly from you before somebody else gets a chance to beat you to the punch. All right. And we hate it when other either stations or the TV stations or the newspaper or whatever else, they beat us to a story that we think that we've got in the bag first, but we don't because they had a faster way of getting it online and out to people. So we want to avoid that. So updating your website remotely isn't really just about speed either. It's about maintaining your station's authority and trustworthiness. Quick updates that help establish your station as the go-to source for breaking news and important information, like I've been saying. And that trust is going to ensure that you get more website visits, longer engagement times, and a stronger relationship with your audience. And all of this is going to build SEO, and it's going to result in more revenue that you can acquire from your radio station website. Again, this podcast is all about more visitors and the most revenue from your radio station website. All right, so that's where all of this is tying in. So the benefits of posting updates to your website versus social media, well, one is ownership and control. You are not posting this information on a platform you are renting, like Facebook and X and Instagram. You're just renting those platforms. They could go away tomorrow and you wouldn't have anything to say over it. But your website, you own it. It's not something that is going to be there just as long as the next scroll happens. When it's on your website, it can be there as long as you dictate it to be. So it's going to be very hard for someone to say, oh, you know what? There was a photo that I remember seeing on the radio station's Facebook page. Where do I get that? And they're going to have to scroll through, and it's going to take them a long time. But if they go to your website, they'll probably just go to the search bar, type in whatever the concert date was, and they'll be able to find it even years after the fact. So it's where you can control all of that content if you put it on your website versus social media. Social media, the goal of social media is to drive traffic to your website. And really, that's where a lot of stations really mess up because it's so easy to post on social media. And if you wonder why, radio station websites are not that, sexy and in the forefront of all of the conversations these days, it's because we're lazy. Radio people are lazy and they prefer the easier way of doing things. That's no secret. I'm a radio person. I know that. And that's why there's not a lot of appeal to the radio station website because it's a little bit more difficult to update than throwing something onto Facebook or onto X. And so that is the reason why. But if they just take a few more steps and put the content, for the most part, on the station website and then promote it with all of these other social channels, you're going to start seeing that the website is showing up in search for things that you probably didn't even realize that you were trending for. And the people are coming from your website from all over the place, even outside of your listening area, for content that you didn't really even consider. And they're seeing banner ads that are on your website, and these clients are getting a lot of engagement because of that. And it's because you did it a little bit more difficult, the way of the more smaller path than the wide open, easy path to take. All right. And so a lot of stations don't get it. They just don't. They just rather do the easier route. But if you go this extra route, it's going to make a difference in your SEO, and it's going to mean more website traffic. And more website traffic means better SEO, and better SEO means more website traffic that fall just continues to run, and revenue is in there as well because, as you know, just like ratings, when traffic goes up and SEO goes up, so should your revenue with the radio station. And if you're thinking about your radio station website as another radio station, like we have preached so very often, then that's what it's all about, is making more revenue with your website. And once you do that, your website's going to be a part of that comprehensive information hub where people will go to for information. So by prioritizing your website updates, you enhance your station's overall online presence. You build a more robust, reliable, user-friendly digital hub for your listeners. And all of this is going to impact how the listeners perceive your radio station, because the website does make a lasting impression on them. If you just have a brochure landing page and with a link to your listen live button and that's it, that's not a great impression to leave with your listener. All right. So that's what we're trying to better for you. So some methods for updating your website remotely, because that's really what we're talking about today, is having that ability to, when something happens, to immediately go to the website and update it there first, and then share that link out with Facebook or Twitter or something else. So there are front-end forms. That is one way that you can update your radio station website, having a form that's only available to the website admins where they can maybe put in a password very quickly, put the information in there, upload a photo, and get it out as quick as possible. That is like something that they could do from the side of the road without having to log into the website admin, get a two-factor authentication sent to them, and then go to the right place and all of that sort of jazz. All right. So if you have a front-end form that can allow your authors to easily do that, that's very, very important. Just be sure that you do have proper security in place so that you're not giving a bunch of spam that is immediately posted to your website, or malware, that sort of thing. So that is very, very important that you do think about security when you're doing any kind of front-end form like that. Then there's mobile apps. If you use a content management system like WordPress, WordPress has a dedicated WordPress app. I mean, if you have a WordPress website, it will work with that WordPress website. All you do is put in your site information, your credentials, and then you're able to upload an image and put in some information about a news post and post it directly to the category of your choice. You do have that ability. I believe some other content management systems have that ability as well. And then there are some third-party apps that you can take advantage of, and they can tie in directly to your website. A lot of the third-party apps that are out there, they're built really for multiple social media platforms in a quick way, but some of them do have some website integration built into them, and so they can directly post right to your website from within their app as well. All right, so those are some things to try. Of course, we're going to have some links in the show notes where you can test out some of these things. So some best practices for updating your website remotely. Of course, as I mentioned, security is a very, very big thing. You want to be sure that the folks that are updating to your website have the ability to do so, and that security is at the highest level, because you do not want maybe a front end form or even an admin form to have an easy way for hackers to maybe guess a password. Like, don't have the password the name of your radio station or the call letters or something like that, something that somebody could very easily pick through and then start updating your website with just crazy information, or uploading malware to your website. So be sure that security is the top best practice that you have in place. Then there's quality of content and your consistency. That means that if you have a certain way of doing things on your radio station website, which you should, like all of the images, for example, you want to be sure that your people know that while they're out and about, they're taking a picture of something with their cell phone. Be sure that their cell phone is not taking a picture like this. They want to take a picture like this. And so the reason why is those look better. And when you're trying to crop an image with a portrait photo, it's a whole lot better to crop it for a radio station website when it's in landscape mode. All right. So that sort of thing. Just make sure that people know this, because the way they're updating the website is a little bit different than they're used to. They're used to uploading an image, and now they're just taking a picture and adding it to a post on the app. So be sure that how they're actually creating the content remotely is the same way they would do it in the radio station, but the tool is different that they're using. You would be surprised. You would think it's a no-brainer, but some people, they just don't understand that you can take a photo with your phone like that. No, they think every photo needs to be taken like that, the way they hold the phone. So just be sure that they know that. Also be sure, and that's a part of the training, that is our third best practice. Be sure that everybody has access to the remote access to the website, and be sure that they're trained how to use it. You may want to every so often go through there and make sure that nothing has changed in the back end that would maybe negate the functionality. Maybe the password needs to be changed every month or every so often. Be sure that everybody knows that password and everybody knows how to use the remote access in order to update the website. Because the worst case scenario is you get somebody out, an accident happened right in front of them on their way to the radio station, and then they can't access how to submit a photo and an update real quick. I mean, they're on the scene. They can't get to the radio station because they're on the scene, but they can't update the radio station website or let anybody know about it in that capacity, because either they don't know how to use the app, or they don't know how to use the front end form, or whatever way you have of letting them update the content, or they don't have the password or something like that. So that would be the worst case scenario. So that training, and be sure that everything is consistent, and of course have that security in mind. So updating your website remotely, it's one of those functionalities you're not going to probably don't realize that you need it until you need it very badly. And so make it a priority right now. Again, sir, social media is great for engagement. We're not saying don't post things to social media. However, use social media for what it was intended for, and that's driving traffic to your radio station website. Because the more engagement you get on your radio station website, the better your SEO is going to be, the more traffic you're going to receive, and the more revenue that you're going to receive from all of that engagement. It's going to make your website be a major hub of information and keep people coming back day after day after day. And that's what it's all about. More traffic and more revenue to your radio station website. You have a remote content plan in place. If you don't, be sure that you do. And I hope this information helps you kind of kickstart into finding a plan to update your radio station website remotely. Hey, do you need steps with your radio station website? We'd love to help you on that journey. Just reach out to us at skyrocketradio.com. Have an awesome week online making your radio station website better. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Better Radio Websites. Remember to subscribe, leave a rating or comment, and share this episode with your team and radio colleagues. For show notes, archived episodes, and more free resources, visit betterradiowebsites.com. Need help starting or making your radio website better? Visit skyrocketradio.com.